I do have a weird confession that I have to get off my chest. The other night when I was eating food, I spilled a lot of barbecue sauce and it all landed in the sole of my workout shoes, and now it's all I can smell when I'm sitting in the driver's seat because I haven't had a chance to like really soak them or do anything with it. But I don't know if anyone else has also spilled a large amount of barbecue sauce in their shoe, but it's not a good time. Let me tell you, it's not a good time. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 7th installment of our vlog series. There's a lot I kind of want to go over and show you guys today. We are currently in Walhalla, South Carolina. You gotta love the name. You know what I mean? Top tier city name, Walhalla, South Carolina. We got a box from a subscriber. It's got about 18 discs in it. I'm really excited. We're gonna pull that out. We're gonna check them out together on the vlog. We also got a couple other things. The local course here in Walhalla is called Sertoma. It looks like it's a shorter birdie style course. I'm not sure if I'll film that. I don't really know which courses do better on the channel. I thought it was difficulty. That doesn't seem to be the case. I thought it was popularity. That's definitely not the case. So I'm not really sure. I've heard it's beautiful, and I heard there might also be a place to dive. So maybe we'll get some more diving content on the vlog. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to start this off. We're going to fire Greta up and go check out Sertoma. So first thing this morning, I hopped out of Greta and I did check my oil and I did not see any on the dipstick. That's a huge bummer. I'm guessing my dipstick shrunk. I'm gonna have to try to find an auto parts store. Hopefully I can get a longer one and we can get an accurate reading of our oil. As we start to walk around Sertoma, I have come to the conclusion that we're not gonna film here for a few reasons. I want the vlogs to line up with the course reviews a bit more than they do, because right now I showcase a course on a vlog and then it comes out 2-3 weeks later. So I kind of want those to line up, and really this course is very short. Some of the holes are just kind of wide open. I don't think it's the most exciting course, but it is gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful parks I've been to in a while. Burning through the city of light. Wow, check out hole 5. This river runs all the way along the entire length of the hole. The basket is right here. It is a shorter hole, but definitely no hyzer shots going on here. And it is pretty deep down there. I bet we could dive in there. It's a double-edged sword, because usually when it's that obvious, there are regulars that dive in there like every week. People go crazy over it, and it's usually not disc golfers. It's people who just dive in there to try to sell the discs to get money. So usually, if it's super obvious, you're not gonna find anything, but we might try it anyway. Another weird thing about Sertoma, as I mentioned, it is a very short course. I mean, there's a lot of holes under 200 feet. ton of ace runs, but they also have a whole second set of baskets in, like you see that one over there, that are even shorter, like less than 100 feet. I don't know if it's like a ace, deuce, or die setup, but baskets aren't cheap. It's kind of crazy to have 2 full sets and there's not even like a long-ish layout. I've never seen anything like it. So now when we go out and do these walkthroughs for the vlog, I do bring a little bag and I try to fill it with trash every time we do it. I think it's just a good habit to have. I can't go much bigger being a van lifer. If there's not a trash can for me to put it in, I couldn't have, you know, a full-size trash bag stuck in the van. That would not be good. But the first thing I picked up was this old Budweiser can, and look how old this thing is. Like, how long has this just been sitting there? If anyone knows how old this can might be, let me know. And this is what I mean, guys. Again, it's a gorgeous park. That yellow basket up there is 143 feet away, and then they have another brand new basket right there that's only 97 feet away. Listen, guys, if you get an ace, don't sign the basket. I know some courses people sign the 4x4 pole holding the T sign. I think that's fine, but don't be graffitiing up your baskets. Respect them. Leave them nice and clean, especially when it's on like a 90-foot downhill hole. You know what I mean? That's not the biggest thing in the world to brag about. You guys see that disc down there hiding in the water? Yeah, we're gonna go snag that. Let me know what you think it is. Take a guess on what you think it is. Hopefully it has no name and number and we can add it to the sell bin. So let's go find out. So what we found in the river was a streamlined pilot. If anyone guessed that, I will be very impressed. I've always thought that these felt really good in the hand. I tried them for a while as an off the tee putter and it's in amazing shape. No name or number on it, so we'll take it. That's a win and it will go to the sell bin. There is a lot of very neat character on this course and it's a jaw-droppingly beautiful property. I don't know how much acreage the park has here, but if they could get like a longer style course with this short style, that would be top notch. This place has a lot of potential if they have the room. So that's gonna wrap up our walkthrough here at Sertoma. It is a neat little course. I think we're gonna go throw the wetsuit on. We're gonna jump in there. We're gonna see if we can find anything. With the sun being out, it should help us be able to dry the wetsuit afterwards. Hopefully we can find a handful of them and it's not another dud like Golden Grove, and then I'll show you guys all those cool discs that were gifted to us. So we do have the wetsuit on. We're gonna go check out this little water hole. It is quite a bit of a walk, which is really hard in a tight wetsuit. Let me tell you, it's hard to breathe. I really hope, I mean, when you go diving, it's a nightmare to get the wetsuit to dry. You wanna find like 10. You want 10 with no names and numbers or people who don't want them back. It tends to make it worth it. If I find like 5 and they all have numbers on it, it's what you call a big L. That's a big fat L. Well, that was a mega fail. We found one disc. We were in there for quite a while, actually. My feet have hit their limit. It's still very cold, guys. It was in the 30s when I woke up this morning, probably mid 30s when we got in that water. So I'm sure this guy will come and get it. Ah, bummer. So we'll see. Maybe he won't want the Roadrunner and we get one disc out of the deal. Not terrible. Greg Barsby, Roadrunner. It's still a very surreal experience to go in that ice cold river water. I don't really know how to put it into words, but it is an experience that it's always enjoyable. You won't forget it. And rivers are they're a lot better. Ponds, lakes, they're always so nasty and gross. That was a very, very clean water here. I know it's not for everybody, but I'd highly recommend if you get bored one day, go jump in a 25-degree river. I want to give a huge shout out to Brian. I met him through Keegan, the guy who invented the stash handle. We met up at Golden Grove to play some doubles. I did try to film Golden Grove for a second time and it was far too windy. It had to be blowing 25, 30, and on hole 2, my tripod almost fell over and I am not risking a third tripod. We cannot afford to keep buying tripods. But Brian is a really awesome guy. He sent me an email. He said he wanted to donate some discs for me that I could sell on the road to help support the channel, which does mean a ton to me. But there was a kicker, okay? Brian told me I could just swing by his work, grab him out of his car. He left it unlocked, and then I was free and clear. Now, I don't know if this was like a planned joke, but Brian works at a middle school. And let me tell you something, if you want to set a record for the fastest time that somebody's gonna call the cops, it's sending big old Greta in here with blacked out windows into a middle school, jumping in the back of somebody's car, taking a box and leaving. Now, he gave us 18 brand new Discraft discs that we are gonna be selling. Now, I have thrown minimal Discraft. First, we have this double stamped Nuke OS. I've heard these things are absolute meat hooks. They're monsters to throw, and I've heard that the early runs of them are almost unthrowable. Next, we have a D-Glow Zone OS, pretty cool stamp. I'm sure Zone OS could work its way into the bag. It would probably go right around my Justice. I'm sure these are a little more meaty, but I have no reason to look for a replacement for that disc slot, but maybe we'll check it out. We have a double stamped Z Buzz. Again, the Buzz I've hardly thrown, maybe a handful of times. Scott Withers Tour Series Buzz OS. I think this would be a good thrower. I've always thought the Buzz OS would be one that I would like to have. Now we have two Forces. Very cool. This looks like a D-Glow limited edition Force. I just guess all their clear plastic is the Z. I could be wrong. It does feel very stiff. Got a cool stamp on it. The Force is definitely a distance driver that I would like to check out. And then we have this X Swirl Force Ledgestone edition. This one feels, you know, this one's got a little flex to it. That's usually what I like with my distance drivers, but two cool Forces. Classic ESP crank, a Tour Series Missy Gannon Thrasher. I did throw a Thrasher back when I first started, and one of my buddies told me that the Thrasher is for noodle armor, so I immediately put it away. There's nothing wrong with throwing a Thrasher, but that's the story of how I ended my Thrasher career, but it is a pretty cool stamp. We have two Raptors. We have an Adam Hammis Resistance Disc Raptor, all black. I would assume Raptor is pretty close to my Scepter. It feels good. I mean, the Raptor feels like a good disc. I know a lot of people love them. And then we have this Paul Ulibarri Captain's Raptor. Is it just more stable? Is it just his signature thing? I'm not sure. We have this puddle-topped Zone. I don't know what this stamp is supposed to be, to be honest with you guys, but with some kind of a misprint Z plastic Zone. A simple 2023 D-Glow Vulture. I did throw a Vulture back in the day. I loved it. I lost it. Never tried another one. It feels great in the hand. We have this Corey Ellis Undertaker. I do have a 4-claw Undertaker. I threw it about 6 times and put it away. So again, I don't know much about them. That one was very flippy. This thing looks flat top. Probably that Z plastic. I would guess this can handle a lot more torque than that 4-claw. We have a Rubber Blend Ledgestone Zone. I don't know how I feel about this plastic. I mean, maybe for a putter, I'm not really sure. It's definitely a puddle top. Interesting plastic. And finally, we have this Ledgestone Edition Ringer. I don't think I've ever thrown a Discraft putter. I've never thrown a Luna, any of them. This, I would guess, would probably be my true putter. It does kind of have that Rhino feel with the thumb track. I don't know if these things are stable. So I'm currently waiting to hear back from Lula. It's a property. It's about an hour and a half south of here. 2 top-tier disc golf courses on it. I don't want to commit to that kind of drive unless I get in contact and get some permission to film there. We have been waiting and stuck in Walhalla for a few days, and I eventually just decided to drive down the road to a place called Chowga Rapids Disc Golf Course. I probably butchered that like horrendously. But we are in Westminster, South Carolina. I just wanted to pop out of the van to show you guys. It is just dead here. It is completely empty, some really awesome views. This is the part of van life that you really love. It's not very common, but when you get these situations, they are amazing. One thing that I am looking into, because people have been asking me about it for quite a while, is how can they support the channel. So I am currently looking at, YouTube memberships. I want to find some great perks for you guys. So make sure you're always checking that description for when that does finally drop. I do want to tie away to give people that want to support me first dibs, you know, on all of the discs that I find and I'm trying to sell, and I will sell them to you guys obviously at very reasonable prices. I would much rather see them in the hands of my subscribers than, you know, the average person that I meet at a disc golf course. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. I really hope that we can get down to Lula. I think that would be some amazing footage to show you guys some great courses to review. But until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.